Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for a review of the Carabao Cup quarter-final between Chelsea and Bournemouth. And we won a game 2-1. And that almost went very, very wrong. But we just about made it happen. We just about made it happen at the end, but I'll obviously speak about that. I've actually already recorded the first half of this review, but then I realised I didn't plug in my mic. So, having to do it again. Anyway, here we are. Let's just take a minute for me to praise myself, because I literally got the lineup spot on in yesterday's preview. And I'm very happy with it, because that was a very out there prediction, I thought, anyway. So it was a 3-4-3. Caballero and goal, Rudiger, Amparo and Cahill as the three centre-backs. David Zappacosta and Kennedy as the two wing-backs. Drinkwater next to Fabregas as the two central midfielders. And then Pedro, Willian and Batshuayi up front in obviously the front three. So that was obviously 8 changes from the team that started against Bournemouth on the weekend. And getting straight into the game, the first thing that happened was Amparo getting booked in the second minute for a very late and rough challenge on Jermaine Defoe. Not far from the halfway line. Shouldn't be doing that. Like, it's a silly foul. Like, there was no need for that. And Defoe actually had to be subbed off after 50 minutes because of that tackle. But that was really the only bad thing Amparo did all game long. But I'll speak about him later on. In the first 10 minutes of the game, we actually tried to press Bournemouth very high up the pitch, which was good to see in my opinion. But no real chances were created for either team at the start of the game. We tried a few over-the-top balls, but Bournemouth sat very deep, or rather deep anyway, which obviously makes running in behind to get to the end of those balls very difficult. But then in the 13th minute, we scored a beauty of a goal to make it 1-0. Kennedy with an incredible backheel pass after he received the ball by Batshuayi. Kennedy's backheel found Fabregas, who was charging into the box on the left-hand side. The keeper was storming out. Fabregas simply squared it to Willian on the other side of the box, who obviously just had to tap it in from fairly close range. A very, very good goal. And then the game died out again, similar to the first, 10 minutes or until we scored anyway. Nothing really happening until the 25th minute, when Willian had an absolute mare. He was pressed backwards by Bournemouth, got slide tackled, not fouled, but maybe got a little clip on the ankle. But he just stopped running there and then. Jordan Ibe took the ball off him, basically, or just took the ball that was lying in front of the stood still Willian, and ran on goal, but thankfully properly bottled the chance and put it wide off the post. Unacceptable to stop running in your own third. Just because you get clipped on the ankle, yes, I know it hurts. I've experienced it myself. I know it hurts a lot when you get clipped on the ankle, even if it's just a tiny bit. But when you're in your own third, unless the referee blows the whistle for a free kick, unless you're actually injured, you can't stop. Like, you can't do that. You can do it in the opposition's third. You shouldn't, but you can. But not in your own one. Like, not in your own third. You simply cannot do that. It's out of order. I'm sorry, but you can't do that. He actually started off really well, obviously scored, and, he looked very lively. And then he does that. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? In the 29th minute, there was actually a big chance for Batshuayi after he had the ball played into him by Pedro, but then he had his shot blocked by the defender. Cahill actually took the rebound on the volley from outside the box. Hit it very, very well, actually, especially considering he's a centre-back, but he put it just about over the bar. But generally, like I said earlier, we were playing too many long balls, especially Rudiger and Fabregas. Bournemouth was stood too deep for that to work, and especially Rudiger's long balls were just, nowhere near our players anyway, so I don't know what was going on there. And to be fair to Bournemouth, they did what they always do. They tried to play football, keeping the ball well, but didn't really manage to create anything in this game, in the first half anyway. And you have to respect them for playing that way. Like, not a lot of teams lower down in the table in the Premier League actually try to play their football and, keep playing like that. And, you have to respect them for it. Around the 35th minute, Batshuayi got caught in the face by a defender's arm when Batshuayi tried to turn the guy and have a shot. It's probably one of them ones that are always a free kick, but hardly ever a penalty. If it was, if Cahill did that to a Bournemouth striker, I'd probably be saying, nah, not a penalty, it would be too soft. But now I'm like, maybe it is a penalty, it's difficult to judge. But that was basically it for the first half, not much happening. Obviously 1-0 though. Not the most exciting half of football. We had a few other almost moments that I didn't mention when our low crosses got cleared inches before Batshuayi would probably have scored. But we were solid at the back. Bournemouth really didn't create anything. The only time they did get dangerous was when Willian just stopped running and left the ball for Jordan Ibe. Going forward, not everything going to plan at all. A few too many misplaced passes. Batshuayi looked fairly isolated, especially in the beginning of the half. So a bit more of the ball later on. Always with respect to goal though. And no one really to lay it off to. So very difficult for him to capitalise on any of those moments. Getting into the second half, Bournemouth put us under a lot of pressure from the beginning of the second half, really. Had 3 or 4 corners in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Still not really getting dangerous, but some nervy moments for us inside their own box. Amparo then with a quality block in the 60th minute to steer a Bournemouth effort off target. In the 61st, we actually start making substitutions. Substitutions that we probably didn't want to make. We probably would have rather brought on players like Sterling, Hudson-Odoi, Jake like Salter maybe. But it was just 1-0 and Bournemouth were putting us under a lot of pressure. So in the 61st minute, Hazard came on for Willian and Bakayoko came on for Pedro, changing the 3-4-3 into a 3-5-2 formation. And we literally had nothing going forward in the first 50 minutes of the second half. It was just poor. Like, we just couldn't clear the ball. We just couldn't keep the ball. It was all over the place. But luckily for us, when Bournemouth did actually manage to create a decent chance, their finishing wasn't very good at all. Then after 72 minutes played, Morata came on for Batshuayi. And, you know, Batshuayi, you can't really blame him. Like, he did all right when he had the ball, like I said earlier. He always received the ball with his back to goal. Difficult to do anything with that. And in the second half, he didn't see anything of the ball because we were just stuck in our own third because Bournemouth were putting us under so much pressure we couldn't get rid of it. I suppose we got into the game a little bit more around the 70 minutes mark, you know, when Hazard started to get into the game a little bit. But still, Bournemouth looked more likely to score than we did. Not looking dangerous at all in the second half, and I wasn't happy with it. Then a very good stop by Caballero in the 81st minute when he stopped the low cross from reaching the Bournemouth attacker. And in the 90th minute, I was ready to throw everything around my room. Dan Gosling made it 1-0 from a throw-in. Morata actually headed the ball straight to Ibe at the edge of the box. Obviously, the throw was, you know, thrown into the box. Morata was just there to head it. But he headed it, like I said, straight to Ibe at the edge of the box, who just squared it to Gosling, who put it into the side netting with a very, very good finish just at the edge of the box. Like I said, no saving that for Caballero. But literally straight from kickoff. Literally straight from kickoff. I don't know how many seconds it was after kickoff. But Morata made it 2-1. And thank the Lord was I relieved. Thank the bloody Lord. A great ball was up Acosta forward to Morata, who backheeled it to Hazard. Just a tiny touch Morata got to it. Then Hazard ran with it a few yards, backheeled it straight back to Morata, who squeezed it past the keeper to make it 2-1. And that was mental. Like, how do you score with 2 back heels in a row? And the first goal we scored from a back heel as well. Mental. But there is also some negative point to talk about this goal because Morata celebrated by running towards the fans, jumping into the fans or leaning into the fans and hugging them. At least that's what it looked like from TV anyway. And he got a yellow for it. Yellow card. That's the FA rules. You know, you get booked for, you know, celebrating with the fans. It's a stupid rule, but those are the rules. And he's now suspended against Everton. Like I said, as stupid as that rule is, Morata knows that rule. Every player knows all the rules. Like, they get told by the referees at the start of every season. And when you're on 4 yellow cards, it's very, very stupid to celebrate with the fans, no matter how important and how late the goal was. I'm sorry, but, you know, we need you available, mate. I mean, you can't just take Christmas off. It doesn't work like that. Some people on Twitter said to me that he kicked the ball away, but I didn't see that. Maybe he got booked for that. Like I said, I didn't see that at all. Someone even suggested to me that he got booked because he put the ball under his shirt to celebrate his wife's pregnancy, basically. You know, how the players do that when their wife's pregnant and stuff, put the ball under the shirt and like go like this. I can't, like, how can you get booked for that? That's not a bookable offence, but celebrating with the fans is as stupid as it is, like I said, you know, multiple times now. But if that's true, if he actually got booked for, you know, putting the ball under his shirt to celebrate his wife's pregnancy, that's actually a disgrace. Like, I don't know if the ref felt he tried to waste time with that celebration, but it's simply ludicrous. Like, you know, you're allowed to take time for your celebration, just, you know, let it play on with injury time, extra time, you know. That's what this is for, ref. Like, what are you doing? And the commentator where I watched it said it was for celebrating with the fans. And also Bournemouth goalscorer Gosling got booked for the same thing as well. I don't know what exactly happened. I assume it was for celebrating with the fans, but I don't know. Either way, fact of the matter is, Morata is suspended against Everton, which is obviously very, very frustrating because Everton are doing really, really well at the moment. And, you know, we basically need everything we got to beat them on Saturday. But yeah, that was full time. A very, very poor second half. Some of the worst I've seen us play in a long time. But somehow, after conceding the 1-1 in the 90th minute, it gave us the biggest kick up the backside possible and we turned it on and literally scored within seconds. And a very good goal as well. We're into the semi-finals, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. First half was decent, second half was very poor, but you have to also give credit to Bournemouth. They played very well. The finishing wasn't great, but, you know, they played well. They put us under a lot of pressure. And, you know, you have to remember that Kante was missing. Without Kante, we're not very good. You know, you saw that when we got hammered 3-0 in Rome and played 3-0 against Rome at home, and, like, the whole period where Kante was missing, it just didn't go well at all in the slightest. And, you know, especially when teams put us under pressure, we can't handle it. A few players I have to mention individually. First of all, Ethan Ampadu played an outstanding game. Let's forget about the silly yellow card early on, because after that he was immense. Great defending, great on the ball, and he's just 17 years old. It's actually crazy. Like, he was very, very good. Very happy with him and very happy to see him start the game. And also Kennedy, I thought, played a very good game as well. Very disciplined defensively in the second half, and Bournemouth put us under a lot of pressure, even though they did most of their attacking down the left-hand side, down Zappacosta's side. But still, you know, when Kennedy was called upon, he did, you know, provide with decent enough positioning and defending. I was quite happy with him, and also going forward, had a few decent moments. The others were either poor or average. Well, actually, Cahill didn't do anything wrong and showed some very good defending, so he was decent, I'd say. But everyone else, poor or average. You know, Batshuayi, like I said earlier, can't really blame him for anything, but he still didn't do very well. Just before I started recording this for the second time, I actually saw that Bristol beat Manchester United 2-1 with a late goal in the 93rd minute. And that's literally mental. How does that happen? Like, they were 1-0 up and then Manchester United equalised. Anyway, so now I literally just waited for a few minutes until the actual Carabao Cup draw for the semi-final took place, so I can actually inform you about this in this review. And the draw has just finished, and we have drawn Arsenal. Obviously, the other three teams except us were now Bristol, like I just said, who beat Manchester United, Arsenal, who beat West Ham yesterday, and Manchester City, who beat Leicester in penalties yesterday as well. But we got Arsenal with the first leg being played at Stamford Bridge. Obviously, the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, or the League Cup, is played over 2 legs. I mean, no surprise there, the Man City got Bristol. I mean, you can talk about luck, you can talk about conspiracy theories, but, you know, I basically said as soon as Bristol scored, that Man City were going to get Bristol. I just knew. Didn't we all know? We all knew. Anyway, you know, it is a tough draw against Arsenal. Like, recently in cup games, we haven't done also well against Arsenal. Like, we lost the FA Cup final. We lost the Community Shield. We lost the Community Shield before then. So, not too great. But this is over 2 legs. That's different. And I reckon we will go through. But yeah, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts on the draw against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. On the game as well. How did you think, especially Ampadu did? You know, what did you think about the whole Morata situation? What did he get booked for? Leave it all down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to check out my social media with /1507, as you can see over here on both Instagram and Twitter. Massively appreciate it if you could follow me there. And also don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea. You can just click that button up there and you can subscribe if you haven't already. We'd massively appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.